Hi crafters, it's Hannah from HanCrafted Creations. Welcome to my channel. This is the card that I'm going to be showing you how to make today. It's a really cool mandala type card. So I'm going to be showing you how I got this all lined up and how I coloured it in and all that good stuff. So let's get started. Okay, so to start this card off, firstly we're going to draw a bit of a grid just so we can got embossing powder everywhere already, just so we can get everything lined up properly. So I'm going to draw from one corner to the other corner really quite faintly, so you might not even be able to see it on camera. Then the opposite corners, then down the middle, and across the middle. Okay, so you can just about see my pencil mark. Whoops. So you want it quite light because we're going to be rubbing it out later anyway. So then you're going to use your embossing buddy all over. Make sure it's nice and thingied. I'm going to grab a nice scrap piece. Ready. So we're going to stamp our images, excuse me while I just fold this piece of paper, and emboss them and then colour them in later. So we're going to start with a circle in the very middle, and I'm using those lines to line it up. Then this one, I'm doing at the point of each line, just where it meets the one in the centre. So I'm doing the 4 first, and then I'll sort of join those up. And then that one. And then I'm going to emboss these and then add some more. So I don't want even though Versamark it does stay wet for a lot longer, I still don't want it to dry, because obviously I'm taking a lot longer to stamp the images to get it precise. There, that looks really good. I'm just going to slide that up and give this a quick blast. Okay, and now just make sure it's dry, we can carry on. So I'm just gonna dab it with a little bit more embossing buddiness just to be on the safe side, and then we can carry on with our design. So I'm going to use this one, but I'm only going to use the top part, and that's going to go at the top of each one of these. So if I just ink it this way, I can make sure where the ink is going. So I'm going to do the 4 corners first. So I'm just looking through and lining up. And then I'm going to do the opposite, well, the diagonal ones. I'm going to turn it slightly. So I'm just holding it up while I add the embossing powder. So I'm not really using the lines now, I'm just using what I've already stamped. And then I just want this little guy in between. Oh, I've missed one. Missed one of the big ones. Yeah. More embossing powder. Just make sure it's all covered. I think that looks good. And I'm going to tip all this back now. And close that up. We're done with the embossing powder now, done with the Versamark. Just okay. Now I'm going to heat up the other ones. The spot. There. And that looks pretty cool. I'm just going to make sure that's 100% dry, and then we can rub out those lines and get colouring. Okay, so it is 100% dry now, so I'm just going to rub out those pencil lines, and I'm trying not to go over the embossing because I don't want to wreck it in any way, and I don't know if a rubber will. So, and we are going to be colouring over like this bit anyway, so hopefully you won't see any lines. And I have done it pretty light, so I really don't want to rub, because I genuinely don't know what will happen, if it will lift up the embossing or whatever, so let's not chance it after we've done all this. There, that'll do. So what I'm going to do now is zoom you in and I've just got a selection of the Stampin' Up markers, which will all be listed in the description, so you'll know which ones I am using. And I'm just going to colour this in, so I will pop on some music and speed it up a little bit because I think it will probably take a while, so I'm going to get started. Okay, so now that's all coloured in and I think it looks gorgeous, we're just going to slightly buff over. You probably saw some of the spots. I didn't, I just sort of went over the embossing because it's embossed. When you rub it over, it'll just rub off any of the ink that is sitting on top, and you don't need to rub it really hard, you're just very lightly buffing it, and that is what you get, and I love it. It looks awesome. So I'm just going to, whoop, wrong way, zoom you out a little bit and pop this on a card. Oh, that looks awesome. Whoops, don't know what that was. Oh, love it. And then just for the sentiment, I'm going to stamp the, what's it? I thank you for your part in my journey. And where's my black ink? That'll do, because that's what I've got to hand. Stazon is going to be back in the new catalogue anyway, so I'm very happy about that. Oh, I didn't stamp that very well. Let's try that again. That's better. And big scissors. And I actually think that's kind of straight. And then here I'm just going to do a banner. That isn't straight at all, so I'm just going to chop it off. That's fine. And that. Simply along the bottom. So there you go. What do you think? I think that looks pretty cool, and I hope that you enjoyed it, and you subscribe if you're new here. That would be awesome, so you don't miss any of my other videos, and there's a couple of them over there for you to watch. So I will see you next time. Bye.